Nothing outside of yourself can give you self-worth. I'm talking about that part of you that feels good about yourself, that maybe underneath you're looking for someone's approval. That's looking for self-worth outside of yourself. And ultimately, you are the one that gives it to you. Hi, I'm Marian Massey. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and success coach. And I've just authored my new book, Miracles, Karma, and Reincarnation, a handbook to purposeful living. In talking about self-worth, a lot of people that I've counseled say, oh, I've got self-worth. And then when I ask questions more and more, I'm finding that they're looking for their husband or their partner or their friend or Facebook or Instagram to give them self-worth. I'm doing the right thing. I'm living the right life. They ask subtly and observe their friends, and maybe I'm not doing the same thing. I'm saying that that is coming usually from a place that you don't feel good enough being your authentic self. And how do we get that self-worth? Ideally, as a child, we hopefully had been mirrored correctly by our caretakers, and that's the time between 0 and 7 that they're instilling self-worth and mirroring back that you're good. And so you have a good sense of self. And so the odds of you needing outer validation or approval is much lower. But my whole focus here is a higher way of living, a consciousness. And yes, we can get to this level of consciousness of self-worth. But I'm talking about living from a higher consciousness, saying to yourself, I'm connecting to my true self as soul. And as soul, I am innately worthy. I am innately unique. I'm a part of God. To really own that in your heart. So if you don't own that, how do you go about owning it? How do you go about getting it? For me, it's practicing in the moment. I listen to my heart. I listen to my thoughts. I go, am I saying something to get somebody's approval? Am I feeling a little disconnected and less than? If I'm not going on this vacation or living in this kind of a house or wearing these kind of clothes or doing these kind of activities. I have been raised as the youngest of 8, and I tend to really compare myself negatively to others. And it's something that I work on every day. But it gets better. It gets better and better. And I get closer and closer to realizing that my true self is my true self. No one can be as unique as me. And so I have to give my worth. Let me give you an example. If someone came up to you and said, my God, you are the best person in the world. And they're handing you on a platter, quote unquote, self-worth. You still have to take the platter and instill it into your heart. So who really gave it to you? It's you. You don't need the middleman. Or another way of looking at it is if someone said, let's say you're wearing a purple shirt and you really love purple. And they go, oh, people that wear purple, they're bad. So in a sense, they're trying to take away your self-worth. But you know, it's okay to wear purple because you like it. So you gave it to yourself. So the practice I'm telling you to do, if you want to, is to practice each day or in the moment when you feel that disconnect to your self-worth. Breathe in, self-love. Breathe out the comparison. Breathe in, I am safe to accept myself as I am. I'm safe to feel my worth. Breathe out the negative. I'll give you another story from my life. There was a time, years ago, that one sister, she would call me. And again, remember, I'm the youngest. I say this because a lot of times the youngest just kind of, absorb a lot of stuff. And I absorbed a lot of not good enough, which is a sense of not feeling your worth. So she could have said hello to me, and I would have felt like she was just putting me down. But I knew enough to get off the phone and work on myself. And what I did at that moment is take the place in my body that didn't feel good enough, breathed out that negative energy, breathe in, I am safe and worthy to accept my worth right here, right now. And I did this until I could feel a shift of some kind. And it wasn't like this huge thing. It was just like, oh, it went from here to here. And I stopped. I did that every time when we were on the phone if I felt bad about myself in any way. Well, it got to the point where I did so much work like that in the moment that when she did call one time, and if she would have, which she never did, would have said, oh, you are the worst person in the world, it wouldn't have mattered because I had a solid sense of self-worth. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying it doesn't come up in other situations. But in that relationship, in that circumstance, I healed something within myself. So I challenge you, and it doesn't take hours. It's just a focused mindset of breathing out that negative, breathing in, I am safe to feel and accept my self-worth. I do hope you do that for yourself. So until next time, if you like these YouTubes, please subscribe, tell others about them, because I try to take some kind of wisdom note for the day or a period or something that strikes me to help you, to help myself. And until the next time, love yourself.